You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders Podcast. It was your boy, Al Mega. Thank you for tuning in today. Today, I'm blessed to have a very awesome person over here. This person, your intuitive business and personal development consultant and author, a podcaster, world traveler, an empowerer, a motivator. Oh my gosh. And the story of her journey is just amazing. Let me introduce someone that I've had the pleasure of meeting through my people over at Podfest. Shout out the one, the only, the very special Colleen Gallagher. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm so good. I love your energy. I love your introduction. It's so fun and it gets me so excited.
There we go. That's right. Share the energy, share the power. Let's do it, girl. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to chat with me, because I see you be doing things. You empower people. You're motivating people. You're doing podcast books. You got products. You're doing your thing. I mean, but your story in before that's just amazing. You know, you overcome so many things in your very young life. So, you know, let's get people to know you just a little bit right now. So where you OG from?
Yep. So I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I grew up right outside called Livonia, and I had a very normal life. I have two amazing parents and they're incredible. But at age 14, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And so my life, that was very normal, very I was a point guard for the basketball team. I had straight A's. I mean, I was like, well, there's nothing like a picture perfect middle-class family on the outside. And it really, that's what really began to transform my life. And I had to do multiple biopsies, 2 surgeries.
Wow.
I was told that I'd be on medication for the rest of my life, and that when I wanted to have children, it would be challenging. Or you'd have to change your medication. So anyway, it was a wild journey and a wild experience. But it really accelerated my journey, I guess you could say, with enlightenment, with creating a life you love and understanding how to really design a business that works for you and also is for the good of this planet. And so, that was kind of the journey in a short way, but I've been all over the world, before, during cancer, when I was healing. I went on a really long journey where I've lived in 5 countries. I've visited 42 states. I've lived in 5 USA states. 42 countries. I've lived in 5 USA states, and I just, I really, I guess, kind of utilized my life in this way because I saw so much and was exposed to much through cancer. I was exposed to kind of the fight between Western medicine and Eastern medicine at a very young age. I also was exposed to the injustices with the USA healthcare system. And I saw a lot of families, I luckily didn't have to experience this with my family, but I still saw it in others where, they were fighting over money and not being able to pay for their child's treatment, or the, father or grandparents that are retired are having to take money out of their savings or early, or all these things to pay for treatment. And so I was just exposed to, what the lack of money could do for you, and also the lack of living your life could do for you. And so those things really inspired me to really become, I guess, a research subject in my own life, where I really wanted to understand love. And I wanted to understand what does it mean to love, and how can we connect on love? And so that is what inspired me in so many ways, I guess, to go all over the world and put myself in insane experiences, or kind of what I mean by insane is traveling alone by myself as a 24, 25, 26-year-old woman, going into churches and synagogues and, going out, or, that's what I mean by insane experiences. But, things like this that most people would never do if they're married, not even let alone if they're a younger woman, starting a business and everything. And so, I really utilized my life in this way. And through that, I've been able to create, write 3 books. I have 25 online courses that I've sold.
Jeez, 25? Damn, check you out.
paying clients for and all of those. I have an oracle deck, which is like similar to a tarot deck, but they're like a affirmation between spirituality and business. I have a healing box and I have a crystalline, and we have 2 new products coming out this year, and one of them being these sunglasses. So I have little heart sunglasses.
Oh, I love them. Check that. Oh, I love the reflective joint right there too. Look fire.
So those are coming out later this year, which is really exciting. But that was really my journey. I really was kind of given something in life and I chose to overcome it. And I've been off the medication I was supposed to be on for the rest of my life every day 5 years ago now. And
yeah.
I just really lived an incredible
Screw
life.
you,
And I've helped a lot
medicinal
of people.
companies. There you go. You ain't gonna get her money no more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but safely, that's what they do. They overprice, overcharge too for this medicine that's supposed to help you live. And I mean, they take advantage of that. And sometimes you put in situations, it's like, damn, it's like, do I eat today or do I got to get my pills?
Exactly. Yeah. And so yeah, it's been a journey. I never would have imagined at 14. I mean, I'm 28 now, but when I left my corporate job, I was, what am I? I was 23 when I left my corporate job. And when I did that, I never would have imagined creating like a multiple 6-figure business in the online world.
You hear this, folks? At 23, stepped away. That's like, people my age are still nervous to try even take a step forward, like on anything that they do. You know what I mean? So a shout to you at your young age to be that, like, bold, if you will. That's what that is. You being bold, right? I bet. So, but what was the turning point? What was that moment that made you say, "I'm stepping away, and I could do this for me"?
Yeah, so I was in a relationship and the guy is actually a really beautiful guy, to be honest. He really, amazing person. But just where I want my life to go, I wanted to travel. How his life was going to be designed, it didn't really set up for that to work. And it was one of those things where the relationship was over, but neither person could let go. So then it got toxic, but on both parties, So it wasn't like it was my fault or his fault. It was just you had 2 people who had a lot of emotion that couldn't let go. And so I basically came home one day. I closed my largest sale. It was $100,000 sale on a corporate job at the time.
Ooh.
And I came home and I just had an argument with this guy and I crashed on the couch. And it was like this blue couch that had like little felt things coming out of it, whatever. And I just
you're probably there picking at it like this mother effer. Jesus.
Yeah. And I was just crying and I just said, like, God, there has to be more to life than this. Like there just has to be, basically. And that was the point where it was just like, I can't keep doing this. Whatever this is, like I can't do this for another year, another 5 years. Like I just can't.
Not even one more minute, huh?
And that's when like an idea went off in my mind that it was like, go upstairs and Google visas. And I'd never, I mean, I don't know what, it wasn't like a voice of God. It wasn't a, like whatever. It was just an idea. Like literally, I just heard this idea. I literally broke into this place where it was like this thought came. And so I ran upstairs and I grabbed my laptop and I said, international visas, and it popped up that New Zealand and Australia had a $20 visa for 1 year. And I never thought that you could actually get a visa unless it was through an academia or like through a corporation, even though I traveled all over the world, like vacation or whatever. But I thought you couldn't actually do that because the America makes it seem so hard. Like it's so hard to get a visa. So like I literally thought like this is how every country was.
I'm stuck. I need a job to travel.
In a way. Okay. So I had this epiphany and I was like, oh my God. And so I applied for the visa. I got it in 24 hours. And nice. I basically saved my money for 3 months or like made this plan and I was going to save money. And I left in March of 2017. I went to Ultra Miami. Then I went to Sedona, Arizona. Then I went to LA and I flew to Auckland.
Wait, how's Ultra? Yeah, I'm dying to go to Ultra.
Well, I like EDC better. I'm an EDCer. So I like EDC Vegas the best. I've gone to see, I think that one and the one in Tomorrowland in Belgium. I mean, those two.
I've seen Tomorrowland on YouTube, the live. Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. Almega needs to be there. I'm like, I'm going nuts behind the screen over here with that energy.
Yeah, Tomorrowland and EDC Vegas are definitely my favorites out of like big ones. There was a really cool one that was in Austin. This is totally off topic. There was a really cool one in Austin. It was a much smaller, I can't even remember. It was like the first year that I went, might have called been Euphoria. Super cool though. It was like in the middle of this kind of like park area, and there was like 4 or 5, but they had 3 different stages, much smaller than it does, but it was just the DJs were, it was like a deep tropical house, but the DJs were really amazing. And everyone there was just amazing. I was like, this is such a unique crowd. Like, it was like, everyone was amazing. Everyone was so nice. And every DJ was like someone you hadn't really heard of, but it was all amazing. So anyway,
nice.
Yeah.
Love it. And I'm digging that you did that too. Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that energy. Like, I saw that Ultra's coming soon out here. So it's like, yeah, I'm ready. I want to try to get in.
Yeah.
Great. So I love that. So you with your energy. So here you are doing this. So I also understand you're pursuing a Ph.D. in psychology. What's all this about? Hey, what's this about?
So,
you're doing all this other stuff, and you're also like, you're pursuing some further education on top of it. It's like, how do you find the time? Talk about why that particular field.
Yeah. So, well, my background, like my undergrad, my bachelor's in marketing, and I don't know, I love the mind, and I love how things, companies, products, experiences are designed. I think it's so fascinating. And if you can begin to design, I guess, a product or an experience, I mean, which is what I love, like you can design it in a way that's actually, you can know scientifically it's going to be for a benefit of a greater human collective. It just became so passionate of mine and super exciting. And so that's really what I'm working on. And my dissertation I'm writing right now, we're really focusing on like, you have like a Venn diagram, but it's like a 3-way Venn diagram. And so one of them is technology, one of them is arts and community, and the other is sciences and sales. So like really how is technology bridging the arts and the sciences, finally the sales and community. And so I just love that. I think it's so, I don't know, I could go on. I just find it so fascinating. And I'm excited to see what I find out.
I'm watching here documentaries about how our existence is, consciousness is a hallucination. So here I'm thinking even deeper. So if consciousness is a hallucination, is that where we're able to will things? So we're able to actually change our hallucination? I mean, I start thinking some crazy shit like this. You know what I mean?
But you can. And what's even funny is I have Rethinking Consciousness. This is a book by somebody right here that I'm using. So what's even funnier is that, and what's even better, hold on, the next book under that is called Visual Intelligence. So you must have been right. So
I'd be thinking on some wild shit. I'm digging all this. I love that type of thought and science, and I mean, just to make you think differently, perspective, right? That's what it is. And talking about perspectives, I mean, you are an author, multiple books, right? Bringing your best stuff, and you had your newest release, right? Live Your Truth.
Yep, that's when it just came. It went from self-published to published on January 4th.
Oh, so talk about all this journey though in publishing. When did you take publishing serious? What was that first journey like? Did you have a learning curve? Was it easy?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So I do have a course. It's called How to Write, Publish, and Monetize Your Book, when we've supported over 50 people becoming authors through that. And so my first book, Live Your Truth, I wrote back in 2017. It went live February 4th of 2018. It was self-published, did it on Amazon. It was great. My second book was more of an academic book. It's called The Future for Rohingyas Education. And it's basically how do we design an education system for refugees. My third book, that was published. So Lambert reached out to me. Lambert's an academic publishing. They reached out. And then my third book, An Uncompromised Life, Morgan James, I found them through a mutual ally of mine and reached out. And then I was like, hey, do you guys want to publish my first book? So we have all my books published. They said, absolutely, let's do it. And so I think self-publishing, like it's a great way. Like you shouldn't not publish your book if you have something to say or you have something you want to be heard, or even it's just funny, if it's fiction, whatever, like you should always get it out there, because the fact that the thought, right, just like when I had my thought, when I was like, God, something needs to change, the fact that you have a thought or you feel like there's a story brewing in you, it means that there's people that are waiting to receive it. Like you've already grabbed it. You're already the leader of it. And so your job is to share it. So I think, self-publishing is a great way to do it. I think if you already have a large following, it's a great way to keep going. But I really like publishing, even if you are self-published or you have a big following or community online. I started out with no one, I didn't like build a community, then write a book. I wrote a book, then built a community. So I'm kind of the other way. But I think that even if you do have a large community, publishing does, I mean, it's distribution, right? Like it just opens doors for you that you can't, because there's big relationships that those publishing houses have with, local bookstores or different things. It just even as a large platform builder community, you wouldn't be able to really, those are decades, sometimes century relationships that have gone on, right? So that's like the pro of publisher. It's just distribution at a larger range.
So did you know how to put together a book before you even started? Did you have assistants? You went raw dog and just did it?
Again, like I just had this idea that was like, I needed to travel the world full time. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to write a book. And I just started to write.
Crazy.
And
I love that passion. Amazing.
Like I just wrote, and then basically from writing, I like put all the writing, like I just knew when it was done. Someone was like, you're done. Placed all of the sheets all over my living room in New Zealand at the time, and I was like cutting the papers and the paragraphs, literally, and like my flatmates at the time were like, "Holy shit,
what a mess!
Living room.
I'm gonna charge you more rent. What are you doing?"
And so basically, yeah, then I looked up and I got like an editor and a book cover designer out of Germany who did an amazing job, and I got like my first photographs done or whatever, and. Remember, I was so nervous. I was like, "Who does like photography?" Like I did it. So it was just so organic, and that was really how it came through.
I love that, yeah. And I talk about how did you start doing from books, and talk about now you do courses now, right? Too.
Yeah.
So, how did that all develop too? What was that step too? That now I want to start helping people and I want to teach people. I mean, where did that passion come from?
Yeah, well, I wrote my first book and I knew I wanted to travel the world full time, and I knew just a book wasn't going to do it. So I figured I'll make an online course that goes with the book. So people who want to go deeper into the book or into the material, they'll have more access to me. And I can, get them access to me, and I can support them. And that was that. And then I made it into a retreat. So it was even like the next level of access of like a full day immersion or 2-day immersion. And then from there, like more people were asking me questions. So I was like, well, these people ask me questions. Why don't I just make another course on this? And so I just started getting in the habit of kind of like when people would come to me and ask me questions, or they'd want help in something or wanted to know how I did something. Cause like, as I said, I really leveraged my life to be like a subject of my own research. And so people would want to like, how are you traveling? How are you this? Like I naturally like just followed it. And so that made people curious. And then I just, started making resources that people could choose to invest in to
follow that type of joint. You want to follow the path. This is how I did it. And here's the course and here's the material. And you do this, that, the other, and I'll show you. Let me hold your hand for a moment, right? I want to let you go, but I'm going to hold your hand to start. And I dig that, to find people that are so passionate about using that. I mean, where did you really find that passion, or where did you really dig in for that to feel so passionate to help? I mean, it shows already. And here you're doing all that you're doing. I mean, and then we're going to get into the podcast too. I mean, shit, again, look, you hear this, folks? My God, how do you find time? You're bugging me out. I'm mentioning so many things that you are doing, not that you have done and like, oh, I pause. No, you're like doing all this. This is insane.
I know.
I thought I was busy. I was saying, holy shit, Colleen got my ass beat tenfold.
I don't know. Like I really, it just came. There was something inside of me that knew I wanted to travel the world. And I think we all have that. Not necessarily traveling the world, but we all have that thing that we deeply desire to do, whether that's jewelry, whether that's writing, whether that's art, whether that's engineering, whether it's what I barista. I mean, I can name, whatever. I do believe that everyone has something that deeply brings them joy. I think that's what I would say. But the mind will construct these reasons around whatever brings you joy, why that can't bring you money. Because kind of when we've grown up, we've been told to work hard and you have to work really hard and da-da-da. And they don't really say that you could just be who you are and do what you love and make money. So it feels like you don't hear that narrative, especially in the public schooling system, nearly as much as you hear creatives or multi-million and billionaires talking about like, they worked, 16-hour days or this hour, but they loved every moment of it, And I think you either live like kind of a 9 to 5 or you live a lifestyle. And to me, I saw what living a 9 to 5 with so many people who had cancer, what it did to them, or because they were so
9 to 5 is a
non-present.
cancer in itself.
Yeah, or because they were so non-present in a way that the cancer manifested through their child to wake them up. And so I think I really began to understand emotions and energetics and an invisible field of connection between us all really early on in my life. Not that I could cognitively communicate it the way that I am today, but I could feel it. I felt things, and I felt that very deeply. I would know things even in high school about my professors, or feel things that, looking back, it was like, oh my God, these people were suffering and in so much pain. And I was like the 16-year-old being like, you don't, like, policing basically, these adults in a way. But it's like, oh my God, the Colleen, you could have been a little bit nicer, but I didn't really understand, right, this invisible force field that was communicating to me. And obviously, since I had no one around me who could even describe that to me, so I had all this energy hitting me that would just erupt, I guess you could say, in a way, which is kind of what guided a lot of my life in a way, and I remember even when I was at the company I worked for, I was talking to the global HR manager, and she was just like, why would we send you there? You haven't even worked for us for 5 years or whatever it is. I was like, but I'm just not happy. And she's like, but you deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
And I remember even the HR person said that, and I was like, wow. And she really listened and really honed into what I wanted. And I think that's when I began to understand there was a different way of life. Like, right, I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. Like, that wasn't, I had 2 parents who were attorneys. That was not, I didn't know nothing about creative entrepreneur, So, so what caused it? I think we all have it. I feel maybe I just had a better ear to listen to it instead of avoid it or resist it or pretend it wasn't there or numb it out.
You're allowed the opportunities. You're allowed to allow yourself to see the opportunity when it was there and take that chance.
Yeah,
I
and I
talk to
didn't.
people like that all the time. Like that, when that open door opens, run through it quick.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I didn't numb it so much. Like, yes, there was pain, or there would be like things that would be like, oh my God, like anxiety, or how is this going to work out, or when
self-doubt.
5,000, yeah, when
inner
$5,000,
monologue and self-doubt is like the worst things. Don't listen.
exactly, yeah, and I think that really changed my life, I guess. And that first step of moving across the world to New Zealand, that step of leaving my job, I mean, those 90 days were like agonizing pain in my body. I mean, agonizing, but I was just so like, am I doing the right thing? What if I mess up? Like, it was, those were the hardest period of the whole journey. It was harder than when I went $100,000 in debt. It was harder than when I had betrayals. It was harder than when, I mean, that was the hardest part of it all.
You almost gave me a heart attack right now. 100K in debt. Oh my God, I'd be stroking. Oh my God.
That was, in 2019. I went $100,000 in debt, and then I came out of it in 3 months. It was like, that's when I understand money was like nothing.
Wow. You hear this, folks? And do you have a course for that?
I have a money course. I do have How to Change Your Relationship with Money. It's a 4-week course where I really teach you how to become empowered with money, and understanding that you have a very great connection, a deep connection with money. Whether it's great or not is your choice, but you do have a connection.
It really is. Talk about that. So with you being so busy with everything that you do, how do you manage time?
I've definitely gotten a lot better at saying no. Like, if something doesn't feel right, back to feeling. Like, if something doesn't feel right, I really don't do it. Like, there's just, and I'm not so giving with my time. Like, I don't like, everyone who emails me or wants a call or wants whatever, like, I just don't. I also don't do sales calls. The only way to enroll in my programs is through copy, because I'm a writer. I love writing. So I built it so I don't have to do sales calls, or I don't have to do that.
Love it.
That's one. I don't know. I mean, I definitely like time blocks. So, like, let's say there's things in my calendar, well, like this time to this time, if it's for my Ph.D. or writing or journaling, I have those time blocked. In the mornings, I'm always doing my writing. It's like my mornings are my producing activities, so that the afternoon and the rest of the day can be like enjoyable, basically. So I'll never have like a client call really early in the morning. It'd always be in the afternoon. Yeah, so I guess I do. You have like a schedule and stuff. Like I've just learned you master yourself. Like what works better. If you like to sleep
Manage
in,
the
then
schedule.
obviously
Gotcha.
don't schedule. Like if you like to sleep in and that's your thing, you're a night owl. Obviously, then you would have your writing time at night or your production time at night, and then maybe your calls in the afternoon. Sleep in. Like you have to have some type of routine and ritual that goes. And like my 2 hours of journaling that I do every week, that's a non-negotiable that happens. Like my Ph.D, that's a non-negotiable things that happen. So I don't know, you kind of just make it happen, but you definitely have like time blocks, and you definitely just know yourself, and then you say no if it doesn't fit, and you don't rush to fit something. Like if something just doesn't fit in, it's like, okay, hey, that's a month or two away, because I just literally am not going to be able to do that.
So is journaling where the books are coming from?
Is what?
Is journaling where the books are coming from?
Journaling is more of like mindset. So that's one of my biggest
Okay.
practices. Like journaling is more like I'm writing my future into my reality. The books will come from like my writing time, which are in the morning. So that 2 hour
Okay.
journaling I do a week, like I journal every day, but that 2 hour, there's one specific 2 hour journal time a week. Like that is like me and my connection to the future. That's like what you could say, like my business strategy, my mindset expansions. It's like me and my mastermind with my soul and God, basically. That's like a time where, yeah, like I'll be like, this is who I'm aligning to, or this is who I'm becoming. Like I'll do identity shifts in myself, or
Ooh.
like if it's like alignment shifts, or it's like I'm claiming this much money, or what do I want to do
You
to
are
hear what I
willing it. That is your will book. Willing it to the
Yeah,
world
there you
book.
go.
I'm digging that. So talk to us about the Colleen Gallagher podcast, its schedule, and its vibe.
Yeah, so we are a top 1,000 global health and wellness podcast, which is like
Woo!
insane.
Yay,
And
congrats on that.
we're just about to hit 2 years old, which is so exciting.
Nice.
It'll be March 17th, I think it is. So it blows my mind, to be honest. We have
Nice.
over 90 episodes. I think 93 as of right now.
Bless. Dope.
We have an episode that releases every week on Monday. So we've done that for almost 2 years. So that will be there. And then after, I think we're going to start repurposing the content. But I so enjoy it. It's really a space to tune in where I just share like my thoughts vulnerably on digital marketing, on manifestation, on new age spirituality, on health and wellness, on current events. Like it's really a place, like if you just like the energy of me, if you like what I share and you like the way I think, like I just take that time as like an articulation. And a lot of the community members will ask me to do a specific episode on something. I'll always do that, or whatever it is. We just finished the art and science of manifestation. So a 3-episode series with a guy named Mo on what is the art and science of it. So you can understand like neurologically and neuroscience, like the neuroscience of it, and also the energetics and spiritual. So it's always cool. It's always different. We've had some amazing people on it. We've had David Meltzer on it, who's an amazing guy in the sports industry. We've had Katrina Ruth, who's made over 20 million in the online space. Yvonne De La Flor, who has like a TV network. She has over 17 published books. We have a woman who's done 17 films. She's in her 80s or 75, I think she is. Incredible. We have some really just cool guests on there that offer some amazing perspective. So it's kind of like your one-stop entertainment, health, wellness, activation shop.
Love it. Again, man, everybody, listen, we love our pop culture stuff, and we love our money stuff. But sometimes we need to connect on some different levels. So thank you for doing things like that and sharing the knowledge of people like that, because that's a powerful thing to share and delve into people's minds and those mindsets. And again, you with that manifestation, I keep thinking now, oh my God, this hallucination. I'm gonna manifest something and change it as you read those books. Please, look at what I was telling you about. That boy was on Twitter all over the place. Is consciousness a hallucination? It was blowing my mind. And people are asking me, what are you watching? I'm like, and I took it off my headphones, raised it, and then within 2 minutes, I turn it off. I can't. I'm lost. I'm like, all right, thank you, bye. It's deep stuff, Colleen. Deep stuff. I love it.
And it's funny because I'm just launched my How to Become a Powerful Manifestor course. It's an 8-week course that I teach. And so we just had week 1 yesterday with my students, or with the people that are enrolled in, and it was called Evolving Your Lens. And it was so cool because it's such a powerful topic, a powerful conversation.
Okay.
Where we really open the conversation. And I literally say, this course is not for the mind. So you cannot sit here and write your way into this. You cannot sit here and do your way into manifestation. It is a feeling. It is a sensation. It is a way of being. And I don't know. So it was just really powerful. That was our week 1 yesterday, and we did that. So but I love it. Yeah. I mean, believe in manifesting. I believe in neuroscience. I believe in identity shifting. I believe in paradigm shifting. I believe,
Yes.
in something higher. I believe in digital marketing. I believe that money does great things for this world.
When used wisely, absolutely it does.
Yeah.
Um,
I think, but I think the even part is like when you go into that, let's say like you get to a point when you just know and you have a trust, it's always going to be used wisely. The more that you do your inner work, the more that you are committed to you, the only people around you are going to be ones of abundance. The only people around you are going to be the
yes.
ones who are doing it right. And so it's like tuning into that deeper. And then like you realize that if something doesn't happen or if money doesn't come through or whatever it is, it's like it's almost a blessing because it would have been a hassle in the long run.
Gotcha. I gotcha. That shit is deep right there, son.
I know. Well, it's funny because I just
Yeah.
started March off. I started March off with one of my
Wow.
largest payments I've had in a long time. Well, it was a $22,220 sale, and then
Oh
on
wow.
yesterday I had a $5,555 sale. So like we're almost going to be at like a $60,000 or $70,000 month this month, which is exciting. It's like unreal to think about it.
Look at you blowing it up, and people, she could help you. She navigate this world. She could empower you. She could help you find some clarity in your mission with her program. So I really think, folks, I mean, you should connect with Colleen for real. I feel the energy. Got me empowered here. Got me thinking all types of things. Like, whoa, I got to check out this website. Shit, I want to manifest stuff. So right here, right there. So if we go to the website,
Mhm.
Colleen, what's popping there?
So you're going to want to go to the online programs and past workshops tab. So if you go to about, it'll say experiences, and then you click on that, and that'll basically go through all of my self-study programs. So anyone you feel called to, I would highly recommend starting. You can also join my email list for free. Every day we have at least one email that goes out, which is exciting. You have the podcast there, so you can subscribe to the podcast and make sure you get the notification when it goes live every Monday morning. And then we also have products. So if you go to the product tab, you'll see the books. We have a magical activation coin, and this coin was really built for abundance. It's so beautiful. I'm so proud of that
This one
coin.
right here?
Let me see. Yep. It's a magical activation coin. And so
That's really
basically
nice. Oof.
I hand drew it. And then like the
Wait a
crown
minute, you
on the
could
back.
draw too?
Yeah. Keep
Jesus
going down.
Christ.
I'll show you.
Let it go on here. My gosh. When are we going to get the Colleen Gallagher graphic novel?
You will hold on, go down a little bit more. So we got the book. So these and the magical oracle deck. I hand drew each of those, and we're looking at making an NFT collection.
Oh, NFTs. Yeah, so talk to me about that too. Damn, how did you find time? You blowing my mind. You do too much.
Well,
I'm getting stressed out, yo. Jeez.
time and space isn't real, so that's another illusion of the mind. So when you begin to tap into it, you can see that you can do infinite things because there's infinite realities of you going on at one time.
Yeah, I gotta take your course like right now. Yeah, this is dope. Magic Creatures Oracle deck, yo. Check it out, folks. Awesome. You can even have 4 interest free payments. So
Yeah.
come on, yo. Skip your Netflix that month. Trust me.
Yeah, and those are they're sacred geometry, so they speak directly with the subconscious mind, how they were drawn, and they have a affirmation on every card to really close the gap on spirituality and business. And then the last one that I would say is my blog page. So those are all my publications. So I've been featured in a lot of different
Ooh, look at you. Wow.
a lot of different things. So I have a lot of my publications there. We have Thrive Global, Thought Catalog, LA Yoga, Elephant Journal.
Yeah, yo. Dope.
Authority Magazine. Yeah. And so the last one would be my free support, and I have a blog page, so a podcast and blog. So I have, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages of free blogs and content where I share with you how to do things. So that way you have audio if you want the podcast, or you have blogs. And then there's also bonus guides. We have a free meditation. I have a free course on intuition that's unlistenable.
Oh, this is so dope, my God. And you on every single podcast. Yep, there you go. Subscribe on, folks. Look at that. iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Pop Player, Podchaser, and Deezer. Hey.
We're on more than that now too. I think we're on like 18 now. We haven't updated the website.
Of course. I know, right? Now everybody got a streaming platform, so we put our stuff there too. Let's pimp ourselves. Hey, look at that. Dope. Great pictures too over here. And articles right there. Look at this, folks. Fire.
Yeah.
So
it's a really, like I said, it's kind of like a one-stop shop of if you're in pain, really, or you're wanting to heal and you're wanting to create a life you love. Like if you really believe in love and you believe in creating a life you love with abundance, with all the money, more money than you know what to do with, and this would be the space for you to go and to observe and see all the results other people have gotten. And
right here. I mean, talk about the results. Look at these people. They're happy, manifestation. Look at the money they're talking about that they were able to manifest, just the energy. And, look at this. Look at all these people saying all these kind words about you, the energy that you display, yo. This is fire, yo. You're doing God's work here, girl. This is awesome stuff, yo. Continue to do what you do. Fantastic.
Thank you.
So is Facebook and Instagram at the Colleen Gallagher the only place we could find you?
You can do Twitter. You can do my podcast, my website.
Everything. So just plain simple as the.
Yeah, if you just go to Google and type Colleen Gallagher, you'll be able to find me. There
you go. So you got first page. See, there's no other Colleen bigger than this one, all right? Best respect. So please follow, though, feel inspired, get motivated with somebody that's doing good things in the world. And not even blowing my mind further, time is only an illusion as well as everything else. My God, yo. So that means I really could do a lot more. Watch out, world. Watch out. You don't want Mega getting busy. And please go to the website so you can understand what I'm talking about right now. Sign up, check out, buy the products, get the books, Again, get motivated, get inspired. There's a great person doing great things. And, just as a person that, you are a creator. So just thank you for being brave and bold, for you to share of yourself, put yourself out there. I appreciate that. And I hope everybody else does too in the world. And I wish you nothing but success. You're already manifesting it, right? So, so let me manifest more for you. Let's get it done. All right?
I love it.
Energy. So, thank you again. Nah, man, it was my honor and my pleasure. So thank you again. Folks, I just told you what to do. Thank you for tuning in. All right. And make sure you do what I told you. Follow. All right. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. ¡Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.